LocDirect is an online server-client tool that manages all your localization assets, not just text, but also audio, images, and other files. LocDirect is simple to use. It's Windows-based and features recognizable and intuitive functionality. The interface is drag and drop, and shortcuts will be familiar to all users. It's been designed to be as friendly as possible to all stakeholders involved throughout the game development cycle. LocDirect is scalable. We want to ensure that everyone can use LocDirect, from smaller developers and publishers to multi-project and multinational companies. It's flexible and can be easily adapted to suit your project's needs. LocDirect is module-based, so you can add functionality and extra seats to suit the game in development. All content is contained in a private LocDirect server. Content found in this server is entered by the developer through a LocDirect client. Once in the client, the application in development can then communicate with the client to pull in latest versions of content, or with some programming automatically pull assets so that the application updates strings in real time. Once in the server, all strings are then accessible by parties outside the developer, including lock managers, translators, scriptwriters, etc. Once strings are complete, then this passes back through the server and, if desired, directly into the game. The tool is online, so when you enter a string, there's only ever one instance of this string. If you upload an image or an element that is required to assist with localization, this asset is kept on the server and viewable by users. As a result, there are no version control problems. The server contains the latest asset or string, so any changes are tracked and there cannot be any overlap. Strings prepared for translation and flagged as ready are then instantly visible to the translator. There is no need for the human communication chain, which can increase the possibility of error and considerably slows down the string translation process. You can set up your project so the latest strings are automatically updated in the game in real time. This can be time-based or activated with a button press, it's up to you. You can alternatively create build generators within LocDirect that will output all required content in the form most suitable for the development team. Within LocDirect, developers can now set string restrictions on a character or pixel basis. As the translator types into the tool, a graphical aid will demonstrate how much of the available space is being used. A major problem within the localization process is to keep track of all the dependencies between data objects. All translations of a source language string has a dependency relationship to the source language string and needs to be updated should it be changed. Add on voiceover audio files and lip sync files that are dependent on the translations as well as the source language. It can quickly become very hard to keep track. LocDirect tracks all the dependencies for you, as well as making it clear to users what dependencies exist. If a user has been working on a file or a string, these alterations and changes will be tracked throughout the life of that element. With appropriate rights, a user can revert back to a previous version if required. We believe that direct communication with the translation team is where the industry needs to be. However, LocDirect will still support the traditional method of localizing using manual file delivery and features advanced export and import functionality. When files are returned from translation, the import function will advise if there have been any changes to source language strings and prompt to create a new file with just these required changes. You can also choose how often you wish to translate, so can still work with larger files or daily exports. Visibility has always been a problem. Localization progress and status is usually only available to a few people. Now everyone with appropriate access rights can view status and contribute. Up-to-date and simplistic reporting and auditing is key. You want to know how many strings are in the database at any given time, how many are translated, and how many still require translation. You can also view and assess changes to strings, who made these changes and when they were made. This detail can be found right down to a per string level. You can also at a glance gauge how localization is progressing. Traditionally, once files are translated, they are then sent via the human communication chain to other development teams working on other platforms or even other parts of the game itself. This opens up another area where errors can also take place. With LocDirect, everyone shares strings, and if changes are made on one platform that should then be mirrored in another, then this update takes place on the server, not through human chain communication. Each platform is traditionally handled as a separate project, whereas it should be one and the same, and developers should share any changes. We really shouldn't be sending Excel and text files for translation. They are prone to errors and provide you with no feedback or status updates. You also can't attach files to provide context to the translator or allow the translator to ask questions on strings that are then viewable to other translators. It's all about streamlining. So that was a brief introduction to LocDirect. To see LocDirect in action, please visit the videos page, which you can find by clicking the videos tab at the top of the web page. Thank you for your time.